Hey there, good looking. This total body strength workout is perfect for anyone who is currently experiencing some pain in the lower back, but still wants to get a safe and effective workout in. This is also great for beginners and it is osteoporosis friendly. For equipment, I recommend a pair of light and moderate dumbbells. And please note that when we're not feeling 100%, we're not looking to increase our fitness. So this workout is more about maintaining both your fitness and your sanity. You'll also need a mat if you're on a hard surface because we are down on the mat for the entire workout. A foam roller if you have one, and everyone will also need a thick towel or a blanket. Now, if you're enjoying this workout ads free on Over 50 Fitness, this is also day 1 of our 10-day lower back friendly fitness series. All right, let's go get warmed up. All right, we're going to get down on the mat. We've got a longer warm up, getting really nice and warm into the low spine, and then we'll move into the strength workout. Let's take ourselves down on our backs, feet apart. Now from here, we're going to do a cat and cow, but on our back instead of on all fours. I find it's a gentler way to get the low back woken up. So I want you to think about pushing the low back into the mat while rolling the tailbone up. And now lift the low back up. Now with all of these exercises, and today, and if you're doing the full series on Over 50 Fitness, please pay attention to what your body is telling you. You don't want to work through any pain. If there's some discomfort, if it doesn't feel right, please stop the exercise. This exercise or this series was developed because I struggle with bulging discs that flare up periodically, and I wanted to give you the tools to be able to still maintain your fitness, and as I said, more importantly, maintain your sanity while you heal. We'll be doing a lot of low back stretches and mobility drills too that will help provide some blood flow to the area. And I'll be talking about some quick or some nice rehab tips through the series. Let's do 4 more. This is great to do in bed in the morning. As I said, it's just a gentler way to wake up the spine. Traditional cat and cow can sometimes feel very uncomfortable. All right, now grab your foam roller. If you don't have that, your thick rolled towel, place it on the left side of your body, the inside of the knee resting. Ideally, we want to try and get this knee popped up at hip height. Other arm extends, lined up with the shoulder, top hand on top. From here, I want you to open up the body. Try to get that hand to the back and then close. We have 4 here, getting into spinal rotation. If you have osteoporosis, you'll just take it not as far back with that hand. So maybe you'll stop here so there's not quite as deep of a spinal twist. And again, making sure that you're listening to your body. For those of you that do have some pain in the low back, making sure that this doesn't aggravate or irritate it. All right, now let's hold it here. Try to pin both shoulders onto the ground and breathe. And close that arm. Let's do the other side. So we want that knee lined up with the hip, hand lined up with the shoulder, top hand on top of bottom hand, open up, follow the hand with your gaze. You might even feel a few clicks in your spine as your low back releases. This is called an open book exercise. It's also great for your T-spine. Let's open here and hold again, maybe holding it halfway if you have osteoporosis. And then close. Let's move the foam roller out of the way, onto our stomachs into a mild extension. Hands underneath the shoulders, lower body relaxed, using a little bit of the fingertips, but more just the muscles in the spine. Lift and lower. So for today, we're working through 4 exercises for our circuit, 2 rounds, 45 seconds of work. Like I mentioned in the intro, we're looking just to maintain. So we're not going to be lifting really heavy weights, just to maintain our fitness and get blood flow into the low back. Last 3. Last 1. All right, come on up. Grab your moderate pair of dumbbells. We're going to start with a chest press exercise. So as you might want to have all your stuff close to your head because we're not moving too much. We're staying down on the mat for the entire time. Now, normally I cue for everybody to roll down the mat, but that flexion could be painful on the back. So I want you to lie on your side, grab your dumbbells, and then roll onto your back. Heels close to the bum, elbows in front of the shoulders, press the arms straight up for chest press and lower down. Back of the neck is long. Taking the movement nice and slow. We're not in a race. The way the workout is designed today, we'll do one exercise to hit the front of the body, an exercise to hit the lower body, an exercise to hit the back of the body, and then an exercise to hit your core. And you'll just do your part and be mindful that nothing irritates or aggravates your low back. When we've completed this, dumbbells are down by your side. Let's keep those feet where they are. Bring your arms down by your side and see if you can feel your heels. Perfect. Now, lifting the hips up by rolling the tailbone, pressing through the heels, lifting the hips all the way, and then lowering down nice and slow. So we're activating into the glutes and low back extensors with this bridge. If your low back's feeling pretty good with this, you can add load by placing a dumbbell on the hips. So a lot has changed through the decades. I remember in my teens, my mom had a low back injury and she was told just to lie in bed. We now know that that's the worst possible thing to do, especially for low back injuries. So you need to find movement that doesn't irritate it and you will heal faster. We need to get blood flow time into the area. Now take that dumbbell, place it above the head, angle the bottom of the dumbbell away from the noggin, elbows are soft, let the arms drop behind you, dumbbell touches the ground behind the head, and then pull over, dumbbell above the belly. Do it again. This is called a pullover, working into your lats as well as a bit into the shoulders, upper traps, arms. Walking is a great exercise to do too when you have your backs really flared up. I would avoid things like the rower as well as a bike because of just the posture that those can place the pelvis in. It can put your pelvis in more of a flex position. We're trying to keep it more neutral or extended. All right, let's lie on to one side, elbow underneath the shoulder. We're moving into a side plank. We need to keep the core strong to help create that strength for your low back. Let's keep that bottom knee on the ground though. Lift the hip, come out of that shoulder, and then lift this top arm and hold. Now this is too much for your shoulder. Drop down and then build yourself back up and keep doing that until we do and can manage a full hold here in a modified side plank. Many people have issues with your shoulders, and that unfortunately is because we have our elbow not under their shoulder anymore and we're sinking into that bottom shoulder. So make sure elbow under shoulder, create some space between the shoulder and the ear, and then when it fatigues, take a break and then come back. So this is, when we do the next round, we'll do the other side. So we're going to go back to the chest press, lower right here. So if you're really suffering right now with the low back, I want you to lie on your side, grab onto the dumbbells, and then roll onto your back. This is also a great way if you have osteoporosis to get set up. Elbows in front of shoulders, press and lower. Now, many of us think that we have bad low back, so to speak, lack of a better term, because we have a weak core. That could be some of the issue, but it could also just be the sum of everything that you do in your life. That's my issue with my low back. And then when I add too much sitting, which unfortunately my job is in front of the computer quite a bit, it really starts to irritate it. And then I add tennis and weight training and don't do my rehab type exercises, and I run into some issues like I have now. Time. All right, so moving back into that bridge, if you feel like it, place that dumbbell on the hips. So don't think that your body is failing you, okay, or that you're weak. You're not. It's just a cumulative bridge up as we age. And quite frankly, if you don't have an injury by the time you hit 50, I wonder what the heck you've been doing. So what we just need to do is, as I mentioned, those prehab exercises, some self-care, and you'll be back and 100%. For me, my big trigger for my low back is sitting. And it's probably going to be the same with you. So if you are like me, I love to watch movies. I lie on the ground, so my spine is neutral when I do that. Bring the dumbbell up, angle it away from the noggin. Back of the neck is long. Draw the belly button in just to anchor those abs for me, and let the dumbbell drop down for a pullover. So when it's flared up, sitting and having that pelvis in a flex position is really irritating, especially if it's a disc issue that you have. So that's where you're going to want to find some workarounds. And a great workaround is just lying down on the ground. Other triggers for people are sleeping. So you can either place a pillow in between the knees. If you're a side sleeper, you can buy a wedge. I have a wedge. And if you're a back sleeper, pillow under the knees. Driving can also be a trigger. I have a lower lumbar support that I'll place under my low back to help me stay in that extended position if I'm going to drive for long periods of time. Side plank, other side. However, I will be honest, since I bought my Tesla, those seats are pretty darn comfy. I haven't any back issues. Lift up. When I had my 12-year-old Kia, I had a lot of back issues. So there are things that we can fix in our normal routine and tweak so that our bodies are happier. So those are the tweaks I've made. So maybe you take a look at what you're doing on a daily basis, some triggers that could happen in your daily activities, and some workarounds. Now, after we've completed this, we're going to move into a new series. We'll use those moderate dumbbells again. Again, want that elbow under the shoulder, stay away and out of the ear. All right, chest press or chest fly to narrow press. So let's get set up. Again, we can get set up normal by lying right down if your back isn't really irritated, but if it's really flared up or if you osteo, on your side. Now let's have the elbows in tight, palms facing each other. Press up until the elbows are slightly bent. Now open up for a chest fly. Come back to where we were and lower the elbows down. So we're not pressing to a straight arm. We're keeping that slight bend of the elbow so that we protect the shoulder when we do the chest fly motion. All right, dumbbells to the side. We're staying here for the bridge, but another variation. Let's bring the feet together and open the knees up. So now we're more on the outside edge of the feet. From here, press the hips up, squeeze the glutes, hold for a breath, slowly lower. Really squeeze the booty when we get the hips up, and as I said, hold it there for a little bit. You're going to feel the glutes as well as your inner thighs. We're going to need that rolled towel or blanket for the next exercise. We'll move into a low back extension and we'll place that blanket or towel under the hips. All right, I've got a blanket here that my husband's grandmother made, so it's very old. All right, so it's gonna go under the hips. So this is similar to what we did in warm-up, except now we've got some height in the hips. Arms down by our side, legs are going to be still, and we lift and then lower. So by adding something under the hips, it gives us a little bit more room to lift up. Now I feel a tiny bit of pinching, but I know that I'm okay with that, so play around with it on your end. My issue is bulged discs in L4 and 5, which is really common. I don't have anything unique. It tends to be the easiest bulged discs for people. And this is one of the moves that helps push that disc back into its neutral position. All right, so let's get into our core move here with a dead bug. Love this exercise for any time. Knees lined with hips, arms lined with shoulders. Brace the abs by drawing the belly button in. Now, let's keep the knee bent. So drop one leg with the bent knee and the opposite arm. The straighter the leg, the more load on the core. So I want you to play around with how straight you can drop that leg and still maintain a neutral spine and still be what? Pain-free. All right, so start with the bent knee, and then as you see me here, I've now extending the leg. See if you can do that. If not, stay with that bent knee. We want to really draw that belly button in, activate those deep core muscles to help stabilize your low back as your arm and limb move away from the body. All right, roll on your side. Let's take it from the top. Grab your dumbbells. We start with the narrow press to fly. So let's press up, slight bend in the elbows, open up, come back up, lower the elbows down. Roll onto your side, let those dumbbells go down. Back into that bridge position, but this time, remember, we open the knees up for our frog. Arms down by your side, palms down. Squeeze the glutes, lift the hips up, pause for a breath, and then slowly lower. Lift up, pause, and lower. So if you are on this video because your low back is flared up, I'm really sorry. But I completely empathize and know exactly how you're feeling. So please hang in there, be kind to yourself, and you'll be back to your normal activities in no time. I know how frustrating it can be. All right, low back extensions. This is where we pop the hips up And you can really roll your towel or your blanket to pop your hips up higher or make it flatter so you don't have as much range of motion. Legs are going to be just hanging out down there, nothing in the legs, and we lift and slight pause and lower. I find the exhale better as I come down. It feels like the ground is kind of pressing my breath out, but find what's going to work for you. All right, press yourself up. Get yourself into that dead bug position, and we're almost done. We're going to move into a finisher after this. You know I love my finishers. Let's get the knees over hips, arms lined up with shoulders, brace the abs. Again, start with a bent knee. See how things feel, and then progress your intensity from there. Just make sure you keep those abs braced. That low back is neutral. It's not popping off of your mat, nor are you pushing the low back into the mat. It's neutral. All right, nice. All right, so for the finisher, we're going to work the triceps in an exercise called a skull crusher. So you can go two ways here. Your light dumbbells, one in each hand, or keep one moderate in both hands. So I'm going to go with lights in each hand. This is what the exercise looks like. We're going to bring the dumbbells down. If you're holding onto a dumbbell in each hand, it's going to go beside the ears. If you're holding onto one dumbbell, it'll go post to forehead. So it's a traditional skull crusher. Let's get set up. We're going to count reps here, going to 10 to begin with. You ready? No? Come on. All right. There we go. 3, 2, 1. Let's lower down. 1. Elbows stay on top of those shoulders. Straighten the arms each time. 2. 3. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, now we're going down. We're going to do 9 reps. I'm counting backwards this time. Ready? Here we go. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Feel those triceps yet? 2, but no back pain. And 1. All right. Now it's 8 reps. That's right. We're laddering to 1. Here's 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Little breath. Now, lucky number 7. Here we go. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Oh, hello triceps. 1. All right. Here's 6, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here's 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, here's 4, 4, 3, 2, 1. Woo! Almost there. Here's 3, 2, 1. Now 2, 1, 2, and now 1, 1. Woo! Dumbbells off to the side. Nicely done. Woohoo! We'll stretch the triceps in a second. Let's just get into the hamstrings and glutes here. One leg is bent. It's a little bit more low back friendly, having the foot on the ground there. And then the one that's extended, that knee's got a slight bend in it as well. Sometimes our hamstrings are also the culprit to low back pain. If the back of your thighs are quite tight, that's going to limit your range of motion, which means that you're going to be using your back, flexing the back more to pick things up as opposed to your legs. So it's always nice to do a hamstring stretch if you've got some low back pain to keep those guys lengthened. Cross this ankle the other thigh. You can pull in for figure 4, or maybe just hanging here is comfortable for you. We're drawing the knee towards us, getting that stretch into the glute and hip. Release. Let's extend the other one up. Again, have a slight bend in the knee. Figure 4. Maybe your foot stays on the ground or lifts off. And release. Lying onto our sides, using our arms to press ourselves up, and then let's sit in a kneeling position. Now, if that's very bothersome for the knees, then if you've got something that you can sit, a chair that you can sit, but I don't want to sit on the floor because it's too easy to get in that forward foot flex position. So I want that tailbone to press back, have a little curve in that lumbar spine, take the arm behind the head, let's stretch the tricep, and then let's add a little lean away. So great job. Thank you so much for joining me. If you're part of Over 50 Fitness, I'll see you for day 2. If you'd like advantage or take advantage of this whole series and you're not on Over 50 Fitness, there's a link down below if you're here on YouTube to come try us out for 14 days. We have a ton of workouts, including prehab and rehab series, and then we have this series. Another popular series for people who are injured, we also have a 10-day no impact. So that's all seated or lying on the ground. And other side. Lean away. And release. Thank you again for joining me. I look forward to seeing you in the next workout. And take care of your low back. Bye.